Hey Glitches, Gigamax again. If you wouldn't mind helping me get monetized, that'd be awesome. If I can make money off of YouTube, that'd take a whole load off my shoulders. So, help me reach the goal, that'd be awesome. Aside from that, when it comes to this game, yeah, I'm probably gonna post a review on it, hopefully. I know that takes time, planning, writing a script and all that, but yeah, maybe at some point. I am enjoying the game, though there is a couple gripes that I have here and there. Just, you know, kind of basic stuff like only playing as one character. They circumvent that with giving you more enemies to fight, and the way you fight them is different from most other Final Fantasy games. There's only two I could think of that's really close to it, which would be 15 and the remake. But both of those have their own style and approach to combat. This one also has its own approach to combat. The only issue with its combat is that he never really changes weapons or changes fighting styles. He can only change elements, which does change how you can go about combat, but doesn't change it so much that, like how DMC is, how Dante can have multiple weapons which all function differently. They change even the flow of combat. The elements you get in this game don't really change the flow more than it just varies it up a little bit. Just a little bit though. Not enough that I would say that it I won't say that it invalidates itself, but I would prefer to also play as a dominant with it as well, to at least get diversity of seeing how they use it and how I use it. Yes, you fight them, so you see it in action, but that's within a boss fight scenario when they're taking a lot of damage. Completely different. But, aside from that, the story, obviously, if the story's not good, then they really did shoot themselves in the foot. Luckily, it is good. It is good because they've pushed the story down your throat whether you like it or not. There's not much to the game aside from the story. They heavily focus on it. I don't know how the end game is, if there even is really an end game. I've yet to see some of the other iconic enemies from Final Fantasy. Like, I can't remember his name, the little green guy with the knife that one-shots. I haven't seen him yet. And the old wizard characters, the old wizard enemies, I saw them as scarecrows, so I guess that's their appearance in the game. But aside from that, the story's, you know, the story's good. It's a story, and a Final Fantasy story at that, because we have yet to get to the Eldritch Horror at the end. So, putting that aside, trying to think, anything else. Side characters. Side characters are nice, they're all likable characters, they all have their own goals and motivations, and you know, the world building for the characters is nice. It's good. The only issue is that in combat, they're practically pointless. Like, their presence is not there really. The only way I really know they're there is if I'm fighting a mid-boss enemy and then they take care of the scrubs. But that kind of, aside from that, their presence is null. So, that is disappointing at the very least. They could have given you some means of controlling them, like what they did in Remake, of you can activate their special moves, so at least you can coordinate, have some strategy in the game, so at least it's still remnant of a Final Fantasy game. But, you know, maybe in 17, 5 years down the line, they'll merge it more with the strategic aspects of the game while still having the action aspects of it, making it a nice marriage. But until then, we get what we get. I really wish he could change weapons, but you know, that he's been fighting with the same weapon for so long, it makes sense that he wouldn't change. But at that point, it makes a lot of things irrelevant. Like crafting, for instance. There's no point in the blacksmith. There's no point in getting potion or having anyone that can craft potions, quote unquote. Simply because you either buy it or you come across it randomly. But yeah, blacksmith is completely pointless. Not to mention you can't even completely level up your weapons. You can only level it up once, and you can't even level up the special weapons like this one for some weird reason. Aside from that, the side missions are nice simply because they're voiced and they have their own. Some of them may have a little bit more world building than others, but aside from that, they're very inoffensive. There's some that give you something in return for doing the side quest, which is nice, like a chocobo, or healing items are increased. But aside from that, yeah. But at least that's what I think so far. I would say that I'm probably in the middle of the game, so yeah. Only one way to find out how things go beyond this. Wow, I spent 6 minutes just talking about a review. After saying I was probably going to post a review. But this is like a pseudo review, it's like in between. I've yet to complete the game, so my opinions may change.
Clive, where have you been? I've been wanting to ask you something about Torgal. Where did you get him, like, in the first place?
My father brought him back from one of his expeditions into the Northern Territories. They were crossing a snowfield when they heard his cries, and seeing no sign of his pack, they took him in.
What do you reckon, Tomes?
It certainly adds weight to the theory. Clive, I believe that Torgal may be no mere hound, but a rare frostwolf, an animal native to the far northern reaches of Valisthea. In one of our oldest bestiaries, I found reference to a frostwolf who served as guardian to an ancient queen of the north. Such was his mastery over ether, he could cast magics on command. His name was Fenrir.
Fenrir the Frostwolf.
Now, the annals do not state it explicitly, but I have reason to believe this queen was a dominant of Shiva, a girl from the Northern Territories and her faithful hound. One awakens as the dominant of Shiva, and the other?
You're saying that Jill granted Torgal his powers?
What?
Just like Fenrir. People called him my hound, but Torgal and Jill were inseparable. He grew up as a faithful companion to the dominant of Shiva, and years later, his powers awakened, just when his master needed him the most.
You're right. If it weren't for Torgal blasting those bastards to Kingdom Come, Jill would have been for it.
Quite. Though Torgal's power is his own, his latent birthright as a frostwolf, it had only to be unlocked.
Oh, get you, Torgal.
You're an even finer hound than we thought.
And regarding your original concern, you need not fear for Torgal's health. Why, the beast has the appetite of a behemoth. Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
What? God.
I've been looking everywhere for you. Bernard's here. I need you to introduce us so we can get to work.
I shall be a moment.
They really had to make that joke, didn't they? Dear God. He used peanut butter, didn't he? No, Torgal's been... his sanctity's been tainted. Someone get him some soap.
Ain't it brilliant?
It is.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. You and everyone else. But I promise I'll pay you back. I'm gonna work my fingers to the bone for you lot. Starting right now. Just you wait. I'll make wonders like this world's never seen.
Then I look forward to seeing them. Now that that's settled, I wonder if Vivian's made any progress tracking down Kupka.
Let's see. Okay, Vivian. My mind went blank for a second for some reason. There's a reason why I went with the glitch aesthetic. It matches my mental state to a T. Vivian. Oh, Vivian. Come on. You have the good news, don't you, Vivian? Come on.
How goes the hunt for Kupka?
Largely in circles.
Oh.
We have myriad sightings of strange soldiers in unexpected places, but nothing definitive as yet. If only we knew for certain by what route he left Rosalith.
Well, keep at it.
I don't know how you
If anyone
didn't.
can piece this puzzle together, it's you. And I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.
I don't know how you miss a bunch of guys leaving the capital with a dominant, with no hands, but whatever. To your silence. This is weird. Why are you zooming in like that? Stop it. Why?
What? Here?
Would that be a problem?
Do you know, Clive? I believe it a mercy that you didn't inherit your father's throne. Your poor people would surely live in fear of you.
You have nothing to worry about on that front. I won't be claiming his crown.
That is a relief.
Clive, have you got a minute? We, have a guest.
A guest?
Uh-oh. It's Behemoth, isn't it? Ah.
It was a pleasure, in hindsight.
Uncle Byron?
Clive, my boy! Tap a cask and stoke the ovens for your favourite uncle is here!
Okay, I can agree with him. Favorite uncle. Well, I gotta give him to that. But what are we doing here? Okay, Imperial Court.
The Dalmekian government sues for peace. How shall we respond?
If they're willing to accept their fault in the matter, I see no reason to refuse them.
Still, we must insist on substantial reparations. Twinside stores are not as bottomless as reported.
Aye, and we have many more mouths to feed. We shall just have to have the Dalmeks empty their treasuries for us.
Of course, none of this would have been possible without your timely intervention, Prince Olivier.
Indeed, I doubt any of us would have had the courage to trade words with the mighty Titan, nor less the wit to win him over.
The Empire owes you a great debt.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you, Your Highness.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Very good.
Don't tell me they really think the boy who looks like a zombie did anything.
Now, let us come to the question of precisely when the Dalmeks will withdraw their troops.
Dion's fire could rid us of them in mere moments. The men of the Fists will not withdraw until a peace treaty is concluded. So let us keep the negotiations open, give them time to gather what gold and trinkets they can, and once they deliver that which we demand, what worth is a piece of parchment?
Your Radiance, were Prince Dion to take the field, the enemy would surely send their own dominant to meet him. And while His Highness would of course prevail, There would be heavy losses on both.
You need not fear Hugo Kupka. He is engaged on the Western Front. Even were the Dalmex to send for him, he would not arrive in time. As much as I would enjoy witnessing a clash between Bahamut and Titan, it is not to be.
And what of your subjects, your Radiance? If the fighting spread to the city proper, the people would bear the brunt of it.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on. Dion?
Yes, sire.
Weird.
Prepare for battle.
But sire...
Do not make me repeat myself. Return to your camp and await my orders.
If that is your wish, your Radiance, I shall depart at once. May Gregor forgive you.
What do the astrologers augur?
The stars are in agreement, your Radiance. The shadow of treachery hangs over Prince Dion.
So Annabella's tales were true. You disappoint me, Dion.
I'm getting sick and tired of his weird mother. He's petting him like he's a dog. So,
What on earth is Uncle Byron doing here? Only one way to find out.
I agree. Oh, look at him. Oh, is that him? No, that's him. But yeah, that was weird. Like, I know I pause a lot and leave lots of gaps of nothing, but at the very least, I don't do that in actual conversation because obvious reasons. But you just can't get over that. That's got me like kind of it's kind of just jacked up the flow. But I can't help but think about how weird that was. Well, at the very least, he's going to be joining up with Joshua soon. And if he joins up with Joshua, it'll be only a matter of time before he joins up with us. Because Joshua will probably say, yeah, we're the good guys. Even if it doesn't look that way.
Ah, my dear nephew, how I've missed you.
How did you find this place, Uncle?
Through the good offices of young Sir Wade. He really is the most helpful fellow. As are you, I hear.
The Guardians and those they freed tell the most outlandish tales of your heroics in Rosalith. Which is why I came, to learn the full truth of the matter. Sort the fact from the fiction, so to speak.
You were working with the Guardians of the Flame to evacuate the people of Rosalith to Port Isolde.
I was, aye.
Then I have questions for you. Please, come inside, Uncle.
Gladly. You there? There are 2,000 gold talents in those chests. See that they're added to my nephew's coffers, would you?
2,000?
Why'd you ask the guy with one eye? There's many able-bodied people there. Yes.
And I'm afraid that is all I know.
A fleet sailing south past Port Isolde. Most intriguing.
Forgive me for not being able to tell you more. I hadn't the faintest idea Kupka withdrew wounded from Rosalith. Still less that my own nephew dealt the decisive blow.
What do you think, Vivian?
I think, with this news of the Dalmekian fleet and recent reports of the Royalists' movements, that the final piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. Come here and I'll show you. It is known that Kupka's forces entered Rosaria via its unguarded coast. So can the same be said of your visitors from Waloed? Certainly her Royal Navy is famed for the efficiency with which it bears her knights from one battlefield to the next. And in the Einherjar, or Black Galleon, she boasts a vessel nigh as swift, and every bit as feared as the kingdom's legendary cavalry. A fitting flagship for a land apart, her naval presence being crucial to her ambitions beyond Ash. Yes, it seems safe to assume that the Royalists did indeed enter Rosaria from the sea. So then, had you a vested interest in Titan's survival, whither would you take him? Why, home to Drake's Fang, a place rich enough in ether to conjure the magics needed to mend his hurts. But would that not entail an arduous voyage around the southern cape? Let us say that the Royalists did put ashore with a mind to spirit Kupka away from under your very nose. Could that truly have been their plan for him? To load him aboard one of the ships flying Republican colors sighted off the coast near Port Isolde. To spend weeks at sea, being tossed hither and yon by unforgiving waves, his life hanging in the balance. No. The journey would mean Titan's death, and Kupka's faithful creatures would not allow it. So what then was the plan of our Waluda friends? Reports suggest they made not for the coast, but for the desert. And by cutting through the Velcroy, a party traveling light would have Titan back in his bed days before a galley could lurch into port. To wit, it was the Royalists, not the Republicans, who effected Hugo Kupka's safe retreat. I would stake your life on it.
Mine? Hold up.
So it was the Waluders who spirited the wretch away. Now I think about it, there was something a little strange about the ships I saw. The men seemed almost crestfallen, as if in mourning, as if they believed, or were made to believe, that their master was dead.
You have a keen mind, Lord Rosfield. And you have your answer. To find Kupka, you have merely to follow the Royalist trail across the Velcroy. It may well have gone cold by now, but as they say in the Republic, all roads lead to Drake's Fang.
Allow me to accompany you part of the way. As luck would have it, I had intended to journey Canberward on business after visiting you here. The Fang would be but a short detour.
I'd be glad of the company. Give me a moment to make ready. I need to tell my friends what we've learned, and where we're going.
Very well, but be quick about it, my boy. Time waits for no man.
You're here. Ooh.
And how may I assist you today? How may I help you today? One must understand one's place in the world.
Man, so much has happened. Even more so than before, honestly. What is the modern, too many people. I just see too many people. Also, people who have died long ago don't even deserve to be on here anymore.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Not to mention, if you actively are, looking at the store, you kind of are up to date regardless of looking at that for obvious reasons. Oh, look at that! The straining ties between old dude's father and son relationship getting destroyed, pretty much. We saw that happen just a couple seconds ago, and they kind of explicitly told us. What things do we have now? Any new ones? Muddy murder. Well, let's see what Otto wants.
Otto, Kupka's at Drake's Fang. I'll be leaving before sunset.
You're not going in there alone, are you?
Don't worry. I'm not going there to destroy the Mother Crystal. All I'm after is Kupka's head. I won't risk any more than I have to. I promise.
The Lancer and the Fang are all Kupka's personal fiefdom. You have any trouble on the way, you ask for Rosina Dalamil. Some call her the Desert Hare.
Who is she?
An old associate of Sid's, and only Sid's. All I know is the name, and that they used to meet at the Dalamil Inn. We've heard nothing from her since he died. But I'm thinking maybe the new Sid might be able to bring her back into the fold.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
So, what about your uncle? I mean, he's welcome to stay, but...
Don't look so worried. He'll be coming with me.
Thank fuck for that.
Gav, Otto, I'm leaving you two in charge.
You can count on us.
I forgot to mention this in my little review earlier. They took out the funny, at least for the most part. This is a lot more serious than other Final Fantasy games.
All right, Uncle. I'm ready to depart. Shall we?
We shall. Come, let us away to adventure.
Bro, how old is your uncle anyways? He's already got a bunch of grays. Yeah, I'll just end it here for now. I won't let you guys see what the next area is, because I don't want to see it either. If I see it, I'll just use the map and get more of a view of it, but, I want to keep myself blind. And also, we just got a big lore dump. So, aside from all that extra stuff, again, thank you for watching to the end. I really don't have anything else to say. So, see ya.